Children, today we are going to discuss the lesson National Movement in India, Partition and Independence 1939 to 47. So this lesson is completely about our national movement. Okay, so first of all today introduction and Government of India Act 1935 and Indians they decided to support this discussion on the support to the Britishers in the Second World War or not, and what was the opinion of Britishers. So these are all the points we are going to discuss in this lesson, in this class today. Okay, first we know that more than 200 years we were under the rule of Britishers. But our Indians, they started freedom struggle and they faced so many problems. So many people, they sacrificed their lives and all, and they worked for the independence, and finally we achieved the independence. This is a very long struggle. This is one of the longest freedom struggles. Indian freedom struggle is one of the longest freedom struggles in the world. This is the Indian freedom struggle is 90 years struggle. How can we say it is 90 years struggle? Because the first revolt against the British rule started in 1857. That also called as famously Sepoy Mutiny. Sepoy Mutiny, or it is also called as First War of Independence. First War of Independence. This is the starting point. This is the first revolt against the Britishers. Lack of proper leadership and lack of proper leadership and not disunity among the people and no awareness among the people. Because of so many other reasons, this revolt failed. 1857 revolt failed. Though it was failed, it inspired the people. And it created one strong idea and it created one strength and strong awareness in the minds of the people that yes, we can fight with the mighty power Britishers. We can fight, we can do that. This type of strength and this type of strong belief emerged in the minds of the Indians. In this way it inspired the Indians. After that, so many struggles, so many, this, even though that was failed, but slowly that revolution, the awareness in the minds of the people increased, not stopped. So it continued like that. After that, so many movements we know that we discussed in the previous classes and all, so many movements have taken place. Vande Mataram movement, 1905. After that, non-cooperation movement, 1920. And civil disobedience movement 1934, and after that the most famous Quit India movement 1942. Like this, number of mass movements have taken place. In this, among all these mass movements, the main thing what we have to observe is strong leadership, unity among the people, and the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, who brought all the Indians that is, who created among the Indians the unity, the nationalism and the spirit of patriotism that led to the success. So here, what we are going to discuss here now, this is this phase, 1939 to 1947. This phase is very crucial phase. This is the final phase of Indian freedom struggle. This is the final phase of Indian freedom struggle, and this period is very crucial period because a lot of changes have taken place. Unexpected changes have taken place in this period, 1939 to 47. So what happened and finally how we got independence? By the partition of India. India divided into two parts, India and Pakistan. And then we got independence. And what situations led to the partition of India? What were the reasons for that? Who were there behind that partition? What happened in India? Why the attitude of the people changed here? So these are all the points we are going to discuss in this lesson. Okay. First, we are going to discuss about, we have discussed about Government of India Act 1935. The Government of India Act 1935, it was passed in the British Parliament. It was passed in the British Parliament in 1935. But it came into force. It came into force from 1st April 1937. So, the commencement of this act, 1st April 1937. What was this act? What is the aim? What are the main points in this act? So, the main point of this act, that is to provide provincial autonomy. Provincial autonomy. To provide provincial autonomy to the provinces of India. Autonomy means freedom. Provincial autonomy. What is a province? What is a province? Province means it is the Britishers, for their administrative convenience, they divided, means they made some units. They made India into some units, some provinces, some units for administrative convenience, administrative purpose, administrative point of view. They made India into some provinces, some units. Those units provided, those units made by the Britishers for the administrative convenience are called as provinces. They are called as provinces. Province means it is an administrative unit. Administrative unit. It was formed for the purpose of administration. So these are called as provinces. These provinces are directly ruled by the Britishers, British officials. These provinces directly ruled by British officials. Now, what happened in 1935? Because freedom struggle more at peak level in India and the demands of the Indians increased more and more, at least to satisfy them to some extent, not 100%, to some extent, the Britishers passed this Government of India Act. According to that, they decided to hold elections, to conduct elections in the provinces, and the winning elections and the winning parties, that is our Indian parties, the winning parties can form the government. They gave the relaxation that conducting elections and the winning parties can form the governments. Winning parties can form the governments. By this, what will happen? At least little bit, some extent, Indians also will enter into the Indian administration. Britishers are ruling us, but Indians, we also will get chance to rule our areas, our country, our land to some extent, not 100%, to some extent. So, our Indian Congress, Indian National Congress, Muslim League, the parties, they accepted this. For these provinces, 11 provinces, total how many provinces? 11 provinces. For 11 provinces, elections conducted. Elections conducted in 1937. Elections conducted in 1937. Out of the 11 provinces, 8 provinces. In 8 provinces, Indian National Congress won in 8 provinces, and the Congress leaders who contested and won, they became the ministers in the 11 provinces. In the 8 provinces. So, our Indian leaders, they became the ministers and they started participating in the administration. But this is not 100% freedom for us, not 100% autonomy, not there. These provinces and these Indian ministers has to work under the British Governor General. So, they will be supervised by the British Governor General. So, this happened in 1937. Why Britishers, they gave this chance to Indians? They want to make partners in the administration, in the ruling? No. Their main intention was, we know that already 1937, 35, 37, this period, European countries, they are facing the dangerous, that is they faced a problem, that is Hitler, the attack, the invasions of Hitler. Hitler started occupying the countries, European countries, and he created lot of terror in the European world, terror in the European countries. So even Britishers also, they felt that, they smelled the danger that at any time one more world war can take place. That's why they want the support of Indians compulsory. That's why what they did, they want to satisfy the Indians in this way, and they want to take army help from the Indians. Indian army they want to use, in other words. For that purpose only they made this act. So what happened here? So in the 8 provinces, Indian ministers, they formed the governments. But this participation, that is in 1939, what we expected same like that. In 1939, the most important year in the world history, because Second World War started in 1939 because of Hitler's attack on Poland. Second World War started. In this Second World War, the Britishers, they want the help of Indian army. What they did, without deciding with the Indian leaders, without making any discussions and all, they decided to use Indian army in the Second World War in the side of Britishers. British means Allied powers. Allied powers, Axis powers. Already in 12th lesson we discussed. British Allied power side. They want to use Indian army in the Allied power side. That is in the Britain army. But the participation in the Second World War, participation of the army in the Second World War, some Indian leaders not accepted that. They are not ready to accept that. That they got the support of the Indians. Should we support the Britishers or not support the Britishers or Allied powers in the Second World War? So on this issue, the Congress party divided into 2 groups. Difference of opinion naturally. So it divided into 2 groups. Some leaders, they argued that Second World War, mainly the reason for Second World War was Hitler's Nazism, Hitler's policies, Nazism, fascism. This type of dictatorships developed in European countries. They are not at all advisable and not at all suitable, not at all acceptable for any country. Because the Hitler and Mussolini, these are all, they want to expand their territories, expand their areas and all. They want to occupy the whole world. Even that is danger for India also. Our leaders also not in favor of all these things. That is in favor of Nazism, fascism and all. So some leaders argued that, okay, we can accept this because we can give support to Britishers to fight against, because Britishers fighting against Nazism, fascism and these things only. So that's why, okay, it is correct only. Nothing wrong in that to give support to Britishers. That is using the Indian army in Allied powers. By Allied powers. But one more group, they argued that, okay, but what about our independence? Britishers has to promise to us that after completion of for using our army, they have to promise that after completion of the Second World War, compulsory they have to give independence to India. Complete independence, not like this. Complete independence to India, they have to announce. That promise should be made by the Britishers. Some argued like that. Without the promise, we should not allow our army used by the Britishers. Should be used by the Britishers. By this, what happened? 2 difference of opinion taken place. But whatever it may be, Britishers, they never follow our opinions. For them, no need of our opinions, our ideas, and no need of our problems and all. So they decided to use our army. Then what happened? When the Britishers ordered Indian army to join in the Second World War, the ministers who were formed in the ministries and the ministers who are ruling in the provinces, who formed the government in the 8 provinces, they felt insulted by that. Even without consulting them, Britishers have taken the decision. So they felt insult and they resigned for their minister post. They resigned for their minister post in 1939. So in 1937 they formed the governments in 8 provinces, and in 1939 they resigned that. They resigned for the post. So after that in 1940-41, no, 1939 already war started. Actually here what happened? British Prime Minister at that time, at the time of Second World War, Winston Churchill. Okay, Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Britain in Second World War. At the time of Second World War, he belongs to Conservative Party. Conservative Party. In Britain, number of parties were there at that time, but main parties, 2 parties. Like in India, now Congress, BJP, like that, main 2 parties. One is Conservative Party, another one is a Labour Party. At the time of 1939, Conservative Party was in power and Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister. And he doesn't want to promise to Indians to give independence, complete independence after the war. He don't want to lose India. Because he said our empire, we built a vast empire and they don't want to destroy their own empire which was built by their own hands. So that's why Winston Churchill was not at all in favor of declaring independence to India after the Second World War. He said that no, we are not at all ready at any cost to give independence to India after Second World War. So at that time, but this Labour Party, opposition Labour Party, they were in favor of Indians. They showed sympathy towards Indians, and they said that if we will get the power after Second World War, we will give independence, we will declare definitely independence to India. So these people are in favor of Indians. Okay. Then next what happened? We will discuss in next class.